So the first of the advanced squeegeeing techniques I want to teach you is the upside down L method. Normally we think of an L, capital L, as a line down this way, a line in the bottom. But we're going to do it upside down, so we're going to rotate that L. The bottom of the L would be here, and then the side of the L is there. That's basically the pattern that we're going to be tracing with our squeegee. So let me give you a demonstration of how that would work. Let's lather up our little tutorial window here. Get it all nice and soapy. Grab our squeegee. In this particular instance, I'm using a 12-inch wide channel. And we'll cut into the top, or pre-cut if you will, like I've shown you earlier on the DVD, and pre-cut down one side. That gives us a nice dry edge to start. So we're going to trace right across the top here into the corner, and we're going to go down the side, just like that there. Give our blade a quick wipe, come down further down the window with a little bit of overlap, and our leading edge out, and then straight down. Now for this last little bit, we don't have that much to trace an actual L shape, so we're just going to basically flip the squeegee around like that, and we're done. All you need to do now, wipe your sill, wipe your edge. And there you go. There's the L method, the first of the more advanced methods you'll see window cleaners doing out there in the real world. Now let's, I'm going to do it one more time, just a little bit quicker, and we don't bore you too much. Now that you know what we're going to do, you can quickly follow along. Cutting the edge, wipe, wipe. And there you go. We're done. Very little detailing left to do, but not bad to always remember to do it as a little piece of insurance. That way you always have a happy customer, no soapy water running down for them to find later on. Anyway, no lesson would be complete without actually taking a look at this method being used in the real world. So let's have a look at some real window cleaning jobs where I've used this method. Now I'd like to teach you one of the techniques that you're going to see people in the business doing day in and day out. In commercial glass, residential glass, it doesn't matter. It's probably one of the most popular professional techniques out there. Some people call it the S method, others call it the swirl or the super swirl. But basically this is how it works. Soak down our window, grab our squeegee. We can pre-cut or not pre-cut. I like to pre-cut as much as possible. And then we're going to, what happens, generally this is probably the most popular approach, is to go up into one corner, bring it over to the other corner, come down a little bit. Instead of going all the way down, you come back up, you overlap here, come down a little bit, then back up, again, overlap, overlap. So here we're doing like an S swirl method until we get down to the bottom, basically, is what it comes down to. Now I said, generally speaking, you see a lot of people cutting into the top corner. You don't really have to do it that way. You can cut in just about anywhere, and I'll show you some of the other popular places where people cut in. This time I'm not even going to pre-cut. Now, I've been a window cleaner for a few years now, and I've learned quite a number of different techniques and tips of the trade. And some window cleaners, other window cleaners that I've talked to in the trade, swear by cutting in at the top, in the middle. So they'll go up into the corner, come down, back up to that top, bring it to this edge, come down, until they get down to the bottom. And some like to close out at the bottom, like I showed you on the first pass, and some actually like to close out at the side. It's really up to you and what you find works best for you. And I'll show you one last popular way to start off your S method or swirl method. See a lot of window cleaners doing this as well. They'll actually start at the bottom, work their way up, round, all the way down, and then basically they just have the center to worry about. And there you go. There you have the S method. And as usual, let's go take a look at me doing this kind of method out in the real world. Okay, so now that we've seen the S method, you probably notice that as much as it's a pretty efficient way to clean windows, it's not so great when we're looking at smaller pane windows. Even a window such as this, I was doing a fair bit of back and forth motion before I got down to the bottom of the window. And there are actually more efficient ways to tackle a window of this size. And one of my favorite methods actually is called the N method. The N method, if you can picture the letter N starting at the bottom left, up to the top left, bottom right, up to the top right. That's the pattern that we're going to trace. So we're going to do it in reverse. We're going to start up there, down there, there, and done. Seems kind of complicated, but when you see it actually performed, you're going to see that it's actually pretty simple. Let's get ourselves all nice and lathered up there. Now we're going to pre-cut the top like usual, but instead of pre-cutting the left-hand side, in this particular case I'm going to pre-cut the right side, because that's the first side that we're hitting. And so we come down to the bottom right, up to the top left, straighten out our squeegee, down, and we're done. So as you can see, it wasn't really complicated at all. It's pretty straightforward. Now, one thing to note though, is that many window cleaners out there will actually do a slightly modified version of this. I don't think you'll ever see them tackle it quite like the way I just showed you. I just wanted to show you that way, just so you can get the principle of tracing out the end backwards. Normally what you're going to see is this kind of N method. Cutting into the top left corner, down to the right, and there you go. Now I did that kind of quickly to show you how a tradesperson would normally do that in the field, but if you were sharp enough, you probably noticed something. When I came up to do the top left, I didn't have to go all the way up to the top corner. And now I'm going to do it slowly, and I'm going to explain what's going on here. Now that we're doing it a little bit slower, let me show you what's going on here. So we cut into the top left-hand corner and across. Now our soap line is actually here instead of the top corner. So we continue across like that, around there, and we twist, and we're done. We didn't have to go all the way to the top. It was a little bit easier for me to twist my hand and then come down and do the finishing move. So as you can see, very simple move and a lot faster than doing this kind of motion, and a lot easier on the wrist in the long run. Anyway, let's go and take a look at some commercial and residential windows where I use the end method. Well, so far I've shown you a few methods of cleaning the same window, and showed you which could be considered a beginner method, like the L, or the upside down L method, to more advanced methods like the S and the N. What if you take that same window and you turn it on its side? It's actually even a more efficient method of cleaning this same size window that we've been cleaning through all these little demonstrations. And this is the U method. Now if you picture the letter U, let's just draw it on here, starting at the top right, or sorry, the top left, then the bottom corner, and then to the top right. Take that U shape and turn it on its side, so that we have it like this. That's the pattern we're going to trace with our squeegee, and you're going to see how efficient this method is on a window that is wide but not too high. First of all, you want to make sure that whatever squeegee you're going to be using, the width of the blade is more than half of the height of the window. So I'm going to cut in the top as per usual, and one side. Pull the squeegee across into the corner, down to the bottom right corner, and there you go. That's it, we're done. No back and forth, side to side, no zigzagging, looping up and down. Very, very efficient method. I don't even think I need to show you any kind of real world methods for that, but I will show you the U method one or two more times just so you can have a burnt in your memory. You ever come across a window like this, this is the most efficient method of getting it cleaned. Cut, cut, straight across, down to the corner. There you go. One more time. Okay. Hopefully this will be burnt into your retinas by the time you're finished watching this DVD, and you'll be impressing your friends in no time, and hopefully making some pretty good money. And there you go. The last advanced squeegeeing technique I want to teach you is something known as the Z method. Now sometimes I'll be on a job and I'll have like a lot of large windows, and so I'll be using my large squeegee, like my 18-inch or maybe even larger. And suddenly I'll come across a window that's just the same height as all the other windows, except it's a lot more narrow. Now I could grab my small squeegee, but that might take a little time switching up tools if I really want to go quickly. So quite often I'll maintain using my 18-inch squeegee, but what I'll actually do is a technique known as the Z method. Now let's trace out the Z for a moment. Starting at the top left, you've got one point here, second point top right, third point bottom left, and the last point bottom right. So this is the pattern that we're basically going to trace with our squeegee. So let's soap up our window. Do a quick pre-cut. Now, starting at the top left, we'll tilt in to the top right. We'll bring the squeegee down on an angle, all the way down, and then we'll straighten out the squeegee, finishing off at the bottom right. So as you can see, the Z method is really quite simple. And in actual fact, quite often when you're doing doors in residential properties, even some commercial properties, you'll have a door that's maybe anywhere from about 2.5 feet to 3 feet wide, 6 feet tall perhaps, or a little bit longer. And then on the sides you'll have same height windows, but a lot more narrow. This is when you can use this technique. So let's show it one more time. Just to drill it into the mind. Cut the top, cut down one side, wipe our blade. So tilt into the top right, carefully bring it down on an angle. Once we get down to the bottom, straighten it out, and there you go. Perfectly clean window. Just do a little detailing, and that's it. We're done. Now let's take a look at a couple of examples of how you can do this. One with a large residential window, and also with a small French pane window. You can also use the Z technique on that.